On this episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast, we talk about Swallowed in Black by Sadus. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Bronze Metalist podcast. I'm Kale.
I'm OJ.
We're two professional broadcasters. We like metal. We like to talk about it. And today we're talking about an album from 1990. 1990.
Their sophomore effort.
By, I guess, some slightly forgotten thrash metal band, Sadus. Somewhat unfortunately forgotten, perhaps.
Yeah.
Sort of... somewhere in between thrash metal and death metal is where this band lies. They were in, I mean, that was a nebulous sort of place that existed in
that time,
in the late 80s and early 90s was, this is not quite death metal, but it's heavier than most thrash metal. So, but, oh God, Cat's already
she
complaining.
Wants in. She's banging at the door.
Zima, if I let you in, you're just going to be annoying. It's like a child.
Yeah. Wait till you have kids someday.
No,
you're not going to have kids.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Get a few hoops to jump through between now and then.
There's a couple of steps building up to that.
Sure. That
I have to take first. But no, in any case, we'll talk about Sadus a bit later. We're kind of exhausted.
We're frazzled
today. This was a Thursday.
It was a Thursday. And for me, today was the lady who usually holds the catcher's mitt when it comes to incoming paperwork.
Yes.
She was having her back work on today, so it sort of fell into my hands.
Yeah, and oh boy. There was since it's the end of the month, and the governor, for good or ill, has decided to begin slowly reopening businesses across the state.
So everybody's buying ads.
Everyone's buying ads, which is fantastic for us.
Great.
It's great. We're bouncing back, making money. Things are going back to normal.
We keep working.
But boy, we're down some people right now in house, and it's going to be a time keeping up with everything and like getting work done while also trying to check on the work that's coming in.
Right.
Boy, that's going to be fun. Good stuff. I guess if you don't be afraid, not that you ever would be, but don't be afraid when you're there before I'm there to just throw shit on my desk for, whatever reason. Cause
you're already getting there to a couple of copy orders.
Yeah. Cause like
I got 5 on my desk and I'm like, why do I need all 5 of these?
Yeah. Late this afternoon, I was kind of like I had voice tracked a little bit and I had fuck all to do. And I was like, I feel like I could be doing something right now, but I don't know what I can be. Like, I know there's something I could help with right now, but I don't know where to start.
Well, a lot of the things were it's a piece of paperwork that said, I need you to run this ad that's already produced that I emailed to the wrong person. And and so,
welcome to radio.
Yeah, I had a long conversation with one of our is now a semi-retired sales staff member. I sent you that order. I don't know why you can't get copy orders from me. I sent it to PBI traffic at SRT.com.
That's the wrong email.
I'm not traffic.
This is not traffic. This is spots. This is production.
Yeah.
It goes to the production email.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
A lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
A lot of restaurants in there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the ones that are, I mean, that's most of the businesses that have actually been closed. A lot of other businesses have been able to remain open.
Right.
So, that's kind of what we're up to right now in our professional lives. And, it'll all be over someday.
Someday.
It'll all be over someday.
We're dead.
Death is on my mind today because I discovered a new band. Well, I've known about this band for a while, but I decided to actually listen to the material for the first time. It is an album called Mirror Reaper by the band Bell Witch. It's not really it's an album the same way.
One song.
Yeah, it's an album the same way Dope Smoker by Sleep is an album. Yeah. It is one 83-minute long funeral doom. It is the funeral doom song, and it is the most depressing thing I've ever heard. And I love it.
That's really saying something too.
I can't get enough of it. I don't know why. It just it drew me in. It's just, I mean, it's the same reason people like dark ambient and that sort of thing. Sure. But it's, extremely doomy and very slow. But unlike Dope Smoker, which is kind of like the same awesome riff, but every way they could possibly think of to rearrange the riff and make it, tweak it and make it different.
This album doesn't seem to have riffs so much.
Oh no, there's there's no riffs on Mirror Reaper. It's just playing with 83 minutes of kind of playing with textures and figuring out how to keep the listener engaged, which I think they did.
Punctuated misery.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It is just pure despair, and I don't know why I like it so much. It sort of was like, oh, hey, I haven't listened to Swallow the Sun in a really long time. So I started listening to that again, too. So I've just, I don't know. I've got mortality on the brain right now.
Sure.
Thinking a lot about it. I don't know.
Please don't die today.
No, I'm not going to die.
Okay, good.
I'll never die. I'm 24. I'm invincible.
Sure.
Everyone knows that. 20-year-olds are invincible.
I was 24 and invincible.
and look at me now.
I tried to because it's gonna be like upwards of 80 degrees tomorrow last night, and I I tried to rock the motorcycle out of the shed, and I almost died. Just pulling a somewhat heavy object out of the shed.
Yeah, but it has wheels.
It has wheels on it, and I'm rocking it out. And my 8-year-old's kind of, Dad, you want me to help you? Just get out of the way! I don't want to roll with you. And
this is very heavy. I don't want to crush you.
Yeah, and so I'm rocking it out, and like a little bit later on, I go inside and I'm gonna pick something up. I'm like, oh, my arm is a noodle. I can't.
Arms noodles.
I moved a heavy thing a couple of feet.
I mean, hey, it's been a tough quarantine for everyone, because that's the excuse we have is quarantine. Right?
That's why I'm out of shape.
Yeah. Quarantine. Sure. Yeah. We'll use that excuse.
Yeah.
It's totally not like we were in awful shape before all this started.
No. Yeah. I wasn't 200 pounds before.
See, and like I one of our coworkers has been complaining about not being able to go to the gym and that sort of thing. And I feel all right, because I'm in the exact same condition as I was when this started.
I hear you.
I'm in the exact same physical shape. So I've got nothing. I've got nowhere to go but up.
I'm the same shape as the dent that's in my recliner that I was before.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I'm not disappointed with that. What have I done lately? I started replaying Fallout New Vegas briefly, just for a little while. I was like, let's play this and rekindle some old feelings. And there was already a little like mini environmental mission, you could call it, that I never encountered before.
Wow.
Like all the time I've spent playing this game very close to the starting town, there's this guy at a campfire, and you're like, hey, what's up? And he's like, you got to help me. My girlfriend is up at the top of this trail, and there's these, geckos that are trapping her, because there's these big mutant geckos that are, freaky looking. And so you go up to
trying to make her buy cheap insurance.
Yes. So you go up and you fight the geckos, and there's nobody around. There's like a dead body, but it's clearly not a woman. And then there's, some treasure, like there's some ammo and some bottle caps and stuff. And then the guy comes up and he's like, oh, thanks for killing those geckos for me. Now I get to kill you and take the treasure. And I'm like, fuck off, dude. And
you kill him.
I blew the shit out of him with a shotgun. So
sure. Did he not see you were carrying a shotgun?
I think he kind of pretty badly misjudged the situation. That is one of the faults of the Fallout franchise in general, especially the 3D games.
Yeah.
Is like when you run into someone who is basic, especially at high levels, at low levels, it's not quite the same.
Right.
But like, I don't care how much, post-apocalyptic meth you're on. if you see a walking demigod of the apocalypse wearing, 8-foot tall power armor with effortlessly carrying a heavy machine gun, why are you going to go after him with a pool cue?
Well, it's like in Skyrim.
Yeah,
and they try to mug you. Clearly, you're wearing
you're wearing an armor infused with the souls of demons. It's fucking glowing. You have a shout that forces dragons out of the sky.
You have 2 ebony hand axes and they're on fire.
Like, oh, I think I can take him. We got this, boys. Don't worry. Give us your gold.
Give us your gold. Here, look at my small knife that I'm holding.
Skyrim is for the Nords. That's the other thing that with Skyrim is I never feel bad about killing bandits because, know, like there might be some other times where you're fighting people and you're like, why am I killing these guys? They probably have families, but then they're like, Skyrim is for the Nords. And I'm like, oh, they're racists.
That's even worse.
Okay, well, I don't feel bad about killing these guys now.
The only time I ever feel bad about killing a bandit is when I search them and I find like a sweet roll or an apple or something.
Oh, okay.
Like humanizes them. And,
a little bit, yeah. Well, then free sweet roll.
Free sweet roll, yeah.
Free sweet roll. You didn't have to pay anything.
Right.
Free food.
I didn't have to go visit Lydia in Whiterun and
get a sweet roll. Why would Lydia have the sweet roll?
Well, no,
is it because you stored all of the other sweet rolls you had on her?
Well, no. Haven't you noticed it?
She's the follower.
Well, yeah, but if you make her stay in the house,
oh yeah, she just sits at the table and eats the money. Same sweet roll,
and it has one every day. She'll have a special meal prepared for you. Really? Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, every day you can get a special meal. It's like just a thing. It's like a pie.
And Lydia will cook it for you.
Yeah,
you don't have to marry her or anything for that.
Oh, maybe I did marry her. Yeah, she was my wife.
Okay.
At the time.
I don't remember because I've been every playthrough I've done, I've gotten married because that's a thing to do in Skyrim. Right. I don't remember ever like having my character's spouse cook.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. Although I almost always marry the kind of psycho dark elf assassin that's hanging out in Whiterun.
Sure.
I don't know why she seems like my type. Oh, you describe murder as your art? Yeah. You sound like a good fit for me. Sure.
I went to the temple in Riften. I got this thing. We're going to get married now. Evil murderess.
I'm turned on. You're turned on. We both love killing people. Obviously, I'm covered in blood right now.
Let's make this work.
I think, hey, a couple that slays together stays together.
I think so. You're right.
It's absolutely true. Plus, she's one of the only followers in the game that will dual wield as a default. So if you give her 2 really kick-ass swords or whatever that she can dual wield, she can do a fuckload of damage. So
she's badass. If you don't get her killed, she gets pretty badass.
The only other follower I think that dual wields as a default is. There's one of the Nords on she's the Nord follower you get on Solstheim on the island during the Dragonborn DLC. Sure. I don't remember her name.
I haven't finished. I haven't finished the Dragonborn DLC yet. I don't know why.
That follower is actually like the best follower in the game as far as because they level up, but the game does not tell you any of their mechanics, which is something that pisses me off because it's like, oh, this follower comes equipped with a 2-handed sword, but their highest skill is actually one-handed.
Sure.
And that's, baked into their character design. But for some reason, Bethesda gave them a 2-handed sword instead, which confuses the fuck out of me. But it's Bethesda, so what do you expect?
Can't you just take it from her?
Yeah, you can like, if you give them the appropriate weapons, they will use them because they'll probably have a higher damage.
Sure.
But there's no way for you to know, oh, this character is better with this weapon because the game doesn't give you that information. Or there's characters that will be wearing heavy armor as a default, but their higher skill is actually light armor. Like it's confusing as hell.
Right. Almost random.
Yeah, it's weird. My nose is exceedingly itchy.
Yeah, what is going on there?
Well, this happens to me for some reason when I eat like certain greasy foods.
Right.
My nose gets really itchy. I don't know what the deal is with that.
Wendy's. You sat at the drive-thru at Wendy's for 3 hours tonight.
I got bamboozled by the whole sunk cost fallacy.
Sure.
Because apparently everyone in the state decided Thursday night at 6 o'clock is the time to go get fast food at the drive-thru because restrictions are being eased. Time for me to go do the thing I've been able to do for the last month and a half.
Sure.
I don't understand what the deal was. It was the same way at lunch. There was a ludicrous line at Sonic, so I just said, fuck it, I'm eating at home. Mm-hmm. And when I got done with work, I was like, I want to go out and get something to eat. I want to get a burger right now. Mm-hmm. I want a burger. I'm going to go do it. Sonic was still ludicrously busy. Every other restaurant I drove by was also ludicrously busy. I got to Wendy's and it was like, okay, fuck it, I'm doing this. 30 minutes later, I get home and start eating my food.
Sure.
So I don't know what the fucking deal was.
I wonder if this isn't it. This is how it plays out in my head. Is that everybody has been staying home for the last month, and we've got to the last day, the day before payday, and everybody's looking at their checking account going, oh shit, I couldn't go out and gamble and drink all my fortunes away.
I have all this money.
I got all this money and I get fucking paid tomorrow. I'm going to get a goddamn Baconator.
Because that's what people do when they have an excess of money.
Sure.
Is go get fast food.
Well, that's all you can get right now.
I suppose, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, I've been looking at my bank account going like,
Sure.
New computer sounds nice. I'm resisting that urge.
Right.
But it's because we've been working. Like, if you're out there, because this will sound awful probably to someone who's listening and lost their job or has been furloughed and hasn't been able to work for the last, 2 months or whatever. But like we've been working, we got our stimulus checks on top of still being able to work.
Sure. So
it's like just flush with cash at the moment. Theoretically speaking, I should probably put the cash away.
Of course, our stimulus money was absorbed quickly into the mountain of debt we have.
Yes, you have a large family.
Yes, here's a match for your fire that you already have.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Here is a glass of water to help put out this fire.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
I guess. Yeah.
$1,200 is $1,200, man.
Yeah, that's one payment for us on a thing.
It's one payment you didn't have to pay for out of your pocket.
That's true. That's one payment I didn't have to put on my Discover card.
Although theoretically, some of that did come out of your pocket at some point in the past.
Sure.
Because it's money that came from the government. So
we sort of generate that revenue as a populace.
Yeah. So some of that money was returning to you,
I guess.
But in any case, God, my nose is itchy.
Yeah.
I want it to not be.
Are you maybe allergic to something there? Is it just the one place or is it just anytime you get greasy food?
I feel like it's any place, but honestly, now that you mention it, it may just be Wendy's.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what would be different at Wendy's than at any other fast food retailer that would trigger the specific allergy of making my nose itchy.
What'd you get?
I got just a Dave's Double.
Dave's Double? No bacon?
No bacon.
The Dave's Double, no bacon.
Dave's Double.
Maybe it's some sort of treatment they put on their meat.
It's possible.
It's a meat treatment.
A meat treatment?
Yeah.
Is it different than a heat treatment?
It is different. Well, yeah, because if you apply heat, it does one thing, but if you apply meat, it does another.
What does meat do? You're not willing to commit to this bit. Okay.
I'm not going to.
Moving on.
I had a thing to say, and I'm like, nah.
Moving on then. So this week we listened to an album that was kind of hard to find, which was sort of disappointing for a band that seems to be very influential and has band members that have been all over the fucking place and lots of different other influential bands. So Sadus was a thrash metal band that was around in the late 80s through the 90s and got back together a couple of times, I think.
In the 2000s.
In the 2000s. Yep. The most prominent member of which was it Steve DiGiorgio?
Yeah, Steve DiGiorgio. Yeah.
Who is, holy shit, what a career that man has had.
Indeed.
Holy shit. The project that people probably know him other than Sadist, most for would be Death.
Yeah.
He played bass in Death on many different occasions.
Well, I think it was mainly 2 albums. It was Human and Individual Thought Patterns.
Yep. And toured with them a couple of times as well. And then he was also involved in Testament at some point.
Actually, now he's their current bass player.
I believe Obituary.
Yes.
I know there's a couple big thrash bands that I'm missing, but he has played bass all over the place.
All over the place. He played for
over the bass.
All over the bass. Slap. He was he was in James Murphy's solo project for a while.
Okay.
If you know what that is.
No.
He's also one of those people who's had a crazy career because he was in Death and he was in Obituary as well.
I feel like everyone was in Death. I feel like I was in Death at some point.
You were.
Were you in Death
I was
at some
in Death.
point?
Yes,
briefly for a show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Half a tour. Actually.
Half a tour.
I was on for half a tour.
And then, I
played the marimba.
Oh, okay. And then Chuck decided they weren't going to be playing that song anymore.
Right.
The one Death song that has marimba in it.
Right. And he says, we're cutting that from the lineup. Sorry, Oach.
People don't like it. Sorry. There's no other reason for you to be here. It's not like you have any other skills.
You take your weird wooden xylophone and get the fuck out of here.
A wooden xylophone. It's quick aside. There's the xylophone and then there's a different thing. Not that isn't the marimba. There's like,
I'm blanking on it right now.
Because isn't the xylophone is like partially electric, isn't it?
No, it's metal keys. It has metal Mm-hmm.
Okay, I feel like I don't remember what the other one is, but there's a different one.
She really wants in.
She really. I'm glad that you love me so much that you want to get in here to make sure I'm okay. But I am okay.
And it's very distracting. We're having this conversation here, and out of the corner of my eye, I see this paw coming under the door. I don't know what she's trying to grab for the handle or what she's trying to do.
I don't know.
And there she is.
Yeah, she's trying to grab for the handle.
Yeah.
Because she's a fucking velociraptor.
Clever girl.
They can use doors. Anyway. The other morning. This is a complete, aside again.
Sure.
Yesterday morning, speaking of cats, I was coming back here to eat lunch, and I see this black and white cat sort of take off towards the bushes on the corner of the apartment building.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's weird. Just a random cat. I haven't seen a cat in this, outside in this neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And then I see the person that is, on the bottom floor directly below my unit. Mm-hmm. Another cat is in the windowsill and the screen is flapped open.
Really?
The screen has been torn open and the window is still halfway open. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I reach in and close the window because the screen is open. So I can just close the window from the outside.
But now, was that cat belonging in that apartment?
Yes. I recognized that cat as, I've walked past that cat probably about every morning since I started living here.
Sure.
And so I go over and I kind of coax the cat to stay in the area. And I'm trying to get him to, get close enough to me so I can pick him up. And I didn't want to lunge at him because then he'll freak out and fucking run away and no one will ever find him.
Again, yeah.
And I kind of get him to stick around in one area and one of the other windows was open and I was like, hey, is anybody home in there? And I hear, yeah, I'm coming. I'm on my way. And the girl who lives down there came out and got him. That was like no collar. Nothing.
Well, no, it's indoor cat. I mean, they didn't expect a prison break.
Yeah, but shit like that happens.
Yeah.
Like my cat's in it. I never plan on Zima going outside, but I have her wear a collar at all times because I would feel fucking awful if she got out.
And she's chipped.
And yeah, she is chipped, but someone would have to grab her in order to get her chipped. And if people assume she's just a random stray cat, they might not bother to, grab her because they have no idea that she belongs to somebody.
Sure. See, we don't have collars or chips on our cats at all.
But your cat, do your cats go outside on their own?
No,
they never go outside.
We leave the door wide open and they'll just be like, what is that place?
Okay.
What dimension is that? I know there's a squirrel out there that I really want, but no.
Well, and with some cats, it's not so much of a problem because they go outside and they're like, oh, this is my house. I know to come back here.
Right.
There are other cats who've never been outside and will freak the fuck out and run and just keep running and never stop. And
our cats are neither of those.
Yeah, that's what scares me, is that she would just keep running and you know, never stop, and something bad would happen to her. So I keep the collar on her at all times. And occasionally I take it off while I'm brushing her because it's in the way. And then it's a whole ordeal to try and get it back on her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you have to brush your cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Constantly.
She's a long-haired cat, so yeah.
I ordered a Furminator because I feel like she's shedding more and more, and I just cannot keep up with the shitty brushes I have. I've been brushing her every day, and it's still hair just flies off of her. So it's it doesn't seem to get everywhere, but it just bothers me. Mm-hmm. It's like, I want her, you know, I like her coat to be nice and soft and smooth, you know, so I brush her a lot.
Yeah, because you don't have to do to her what we had to do to my youngest son 2 days ago.
Which is?
Did I tell you what happened?
No.
Because he also hasn't been outside in a long time. You also open the door for him, and he looks outside like, yeah, because, you know, he loves his video games and his YouTube. And
sounds familiar.
And he's also grown his hair out, like down to the, you know, the small of his back. Kind of, because he wants to, you know, it's my shield. I don't want anybody, you know, it covers me. It's my hair. And so, but the problem is he hasn't been outside until he's gone to school, hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And so nobody's bothered to brush him.
Oh, God.
And so it became just this big mat in the back of his head.
Oh, no.
And we tried to put conditioner on it, and my wife was just brushing it, and he's like going, ow, 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 ow. And he's
This is why you need to brush your hair yourself.
Exactly. Well, actually, the other solution was I heard him yell, Dad, get the clippers.
Oh, he just decided, fuck this.
Yep.
It's not worth it.
So that's what happened.
I'm just gonna so how short did it go?
Fairly short. It's almost like a boy style pixie cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
It works. It works.
That's what he's got.
My fucking nose is so itchy, dude.
I was going to go all the way down like buzz cut, but it was like, it's not necessary.
Military cut. You're going to the Marines, boy. This is how they used to do it back in Nam. I don't know why that's where I went with that.
I got me a bobcat.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
That's a funny one.
Yeah.
So Sadis, right? Sadis. Boy, we diverged.
We did
super quick on that one. Tell me about you and Sadis.
Well, it's one of those things where I heard this is a great album. Actually, no, I heard my buddy, who was it that had it? They had this album, and it was a couple years old already. I was 18, and I said, I gotta have this, and I bought it on CD. And it was awesome.
Yeah, it is a pretty awesome album. This is, imagine, as far as this sound goes, imagine Slayer, but cranked up a few more notches, basically. And that's kind of what you get. You know, the occasional, or more than the occasional, I'd say. I think it's kind of like half death metal scream. It's not really a death growl. No. It is more of a scream,
or a screech,
which was more common in early death metal. And that's kind of more what like death sounded like. The really deep growls wouldn't come in until later. But like, it was kind of more of a higher pitched sort of scream. And then half is the, you know, sort of gritty kind of yelling, thrash metal yelling. Lots of just crazy guitars, just insanely fast.
There's a lot of chaotic solos in there as well.
Yeah, some very chaotic sort of Kerry King-esque solos. That was my reference point listening to this, was like, oh, this is like Slayer, but more Slayer than Slayer in a way. And I had to listen to it on YouTube, so I don't have like any reference whatsoever for what song is what. So I don't even know what my favorite song is. Like this is a very sort of slapdash kind of week, I think.
Sure. That's for everything this week.
Yeah, it's been weird.
And we're talking about Steve DiGiorgio on his Wikipedia
on
page.
His Wikipedia.
It says he tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah.
You see that?
I saw that.
as well as Chuck Billy from Testament. So 2 members of Testament
have
at
tested positive for COVID-19.
Yeah, and they're not. I mean, they're in their 50s.
Yeah, they're not spring chickens.
Right.
So yeah, it could be, and it's not like they've members of the rock and roll community are known for being particularly healthy.
Right. Oh, some are.
Some are very healthy.
Some are very healthy.
Some physically look okay on the outside.
Sure.
But the lungs and the liver are probably not in the best shape.
Sure. Like we were talking about Danzig. Glenn Danzig,
Yeah.
he's in great shape for being 64.
Yeah, Glenn Danzig is still in pretty solid shape.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell did we hear about? Oh, Glenn Danzig's Elvis album.
Yeah, he's made it. I think he's actually, it's almost a compilation kind of situation because he's recorded Elvis songs before, and I think some of those are appearing on this. But I think, it's Elvis, or it's the evil Elvis singing Elvis.
Because apparently, I mean, I know that was a thing that people would say about Glenn Danzig, but like, is Glenn Danzig genuinely also just a big Elvis fan?
Potentially. And why not?
Nothing surprises me about Glenn Danzig. He seems like at the same time, it's, I was going to say a really strange dude, but I think the thing is it's weird how mundane he is.
Yeah. He's weird how regular. Did you read that article that somebody wrote about the fact that they got backstage passes at Danzig, and they're like, oh, we're going to party with Glenn Danzig. This is going to be great. We're going to go backstage and party. And he got like a health bar and a speech about the helpfulness of exercise and plenty of rest and
fucking Glenn Danzig.
And that was it. That was the whole thing.
And like, I guess,
hit the gym. Hit the gym.
Make sure to hit. I don't know why I went with the Hank Hill with that.
Make sure you hit the gym.
Hit the gym. And I guess I don't know what kind of shape like Jerry Only is in, but
he still looks magnificent shape.
I know Doyle is in fucking ludicrous condition.
That's some roids going on there.
It's especially because Doyle is in his 50s too, and he's got to be steroids. But he also eats very healthy. I think he's he's vegan and whatnot. But
and he's been training for 3 hours a day.
Him and Alyssa White Glues, making a glorious metal couple. Jealousy. But that's fucking Glenn Danzig. I don't know if I even we mentioned on the podcast, I think Glenn Danzig's movie. We mentioned that. Yeah. Having watched clips from it now, I don't know if I even want to watch that.
You don't know if you could do it?
I think it looks too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
It's too weird softcore porn.
It's basically softcore porn essentially, but it's right there in the name. It's a movie called Verotica, and the V stands for violence. So like
violent erotica.
Yeah. So what did you expect? But, there's like erotic horror movies that can be done well. One could argue that like the new Suspiria is an erotic horror movie in a way. You can do that very well. Glenn Danzig cannot do that very well. Mostly because he hired an entire cast of porn stars to be in his movie because he's Glenn Danzig and he does whatever the fuck he wants. Oh, God.
I love your movie, mama. I want you to be in my movie.
I don't know why that's the idea of Glenn Danzig just straight up. Even Glenn Danzig thinks he's Elvis.
Perhaps
he doesn't even, he's not even doing I have to go to the bathroom.
All right. Here's my thought on that real quick, though.
Yes.
Is that he's an Elvis fan growing up and then didn't do the whole like Sam Hain thing or until Elvis died and you realized, oh, Elvis is dead. I got to be dead, too.
Did you give up?
What? I'm sorry. What's going on? Oh, Kale's back. Oh, man. That's cool.
I see a waveform that has been building up for the last several minutes. We return to your regularly scheduled programming.
I dare you. I double dog dare you to leave that
in. No. No. Oh boy, now the cat's here.
Yeah.
Oh well.
She's fine. There you go. That was the cat.
That was the cat.
Do you remember what we were talking about?
Oh my God.
Ago?
Are you going to meow at me too? Oh, come here. You just stay in the lap. I don't remember what we were talking about either. Since you're someone who is familiar with, by the way, this slaps. This album
does
slaps.
slap.
Since you are someone that is familiar with this album, what is your favorite song on this?
I think the opening track, Black, is my favorite. I don't know why. I just think about the groove. Oh, there's another track on there. I think it's the fourth track in. Has really great groove to it.
No,
nope, nothing like that.
That was my imitation of groove metal.
I'm having a hard time remembering names of tracks.
It's okay.
It's been a long fucking week.
It's been a long week. It's almost over though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we normally do this on a Wednesday. We're here on a Thursday.
Yeah, because last night I got done with work and I had a headache that felt like it was quickly turning into a migraine. Ended up feeling better, but then you were busy working on your bike and didn't see me saying, hey, I feel better. Let's do the podcast.
So it got to be like almost 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh, shit.
It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry.
It's okay. Everything's all right. Just inject bleach straight into your veins. Anywho. It's a kitty. I have a kitty. So yeah, you mentioned your favorite tracks. What metal are you giving this?
Personally,
album?
I give it a gold.
It's a gold for you?
It's a gold for importance.
'Tis a gold. All right, cool. Well, I guess that is our half-assed attempt at talking about sadists. This is kind of a short episode. Yeah, it's been a week.
It has been a week.
I don't even really know what we want to do next week. I don't have much of any idea.
Are you sure you don't want to do the album we talked about earlier?
What was the album we talked about earlier?
Bell Witch.
Oh, God. I mean,
I don't know. There's not much to talk about that. I mean,
yeah, it's just really long and sad. And they wrote it because their drummer died.
Sure.
The end. We could talk about a different album that is also depressing and was written because a band member died.
Let's do that.
Okay. We could talk about Departure Songs by We Lost the Sea.
Oh, yeah, sure. Have we done We Lost the Sea before?
Yeah, we did their newest album.
Right.
Triumph and Disaster.
Right,
we did that back in October.
I was going to say it wasn't too long ago.
Octubre. So yeah, next week, sure. We'll talk about an album that I've been listening to nonstop for about a year now.
Sure.
So
let's talk about it then.
Departure Songs by We Lost the Sea next week. Until we get to that point, thank you all very much for listening. You can find us on Facebook and on Twitter. If this is your first episode, by the way, I'm so sorry. And also, why have you hung on this long?
Yeah.
You've got better things to do with your time. We're on Libsyn, we're on iTunes, and mobile versions of both of those services. So what's your excuse? Listen to it on your phone. Walk around.
Find some earlier episodes that people maybe are they discussing? Do people discuss the podcast?
Not really.
Okay.
Not much discussion going on.
Nobody really says anything.
But yeah, thank you very much for listening to this episode of the Bronze Medalist podcast, I guess. I think I'm Kale.
I'm pretty sure I'm OJ.
Congratulations. That was appropriate.
The anemic